issue, but I'm back. So, it's about 5 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, I walked you guys through. If you didn't see it yet, go, it's fine. Go to IGTV. You'll see it's my latest post on my Instagram at Henck. So I walked you through and I gave you a sense of, you know, what we have in the showroom, why we have it here, what the inspiration is. Largely the inspiration is just having really beautiful things that feel natural, that feel earthy. We've got, but like light and airy too. I've got pampas grass I flew in from California. We've got nice jute natural rugs. We've got this delicious camel color leather sofa that my videographer here is sitting on with leopard print. We've got big, bold, beautiful art. Behind me you can probably see we don't have that guy yet, but he's on his way. And we've got groovy tunes via our friend Rosaline. We've got wine, so cheers boys and girls, it is happy hour. So yeah, I've gotten some questions and now's kind of a time for a Q&A. My operations manager here, who's fabulous, who I love and who's doing a fabulous job, is going to read off some questions and yeah, let's go.
All right, so when did you decide that it was time to take this step in opening a showroom?
So, you know, it's kind of a natural progression. Opening a showroom, you know, it's funny, I do believe in sort of like, I don't know if you call it the law of attraction or what, but I call it kind of like trusting the timing of your life. Like, I think at the end of the day, you know, I had been in my last office, which was in a fabulous neighborhood, and it was a great space, but it was a little small. You know, you can't grow unless you kind of force yourself to do that. So for me, I think just the natural next step was to be able to show my clients what they're gonna get. You know, not every piece available to our clients is in here by all means. It's only 600-700 square feet in here, but you know, it's important that people are able to touch and see and feel, you know, the product and trust. You know, interior design is so much like to the nth degree a business of trust, you know, and sometimes seeing is believing. So I think that is ultimately why. And also, you know, I wanted a physical space that I could share with people that wasn't just like a private office. I wanted to really create a space that, you know, allows people to not just see the brand from a distance in a photo, but feel the brand, be here, you know. I mean, we create interiors, so at the end of the day, like, I'm so happy and honored for people to enter a space that I've designed. And when you have, you know, private residences that, you know, we spend so much of our time designing, you know, you're just not able to show off those properties the way a realtor can show off and have an open house and have somebody come in and see and touch and feel the space. So that's what we've created this space to do.
So, have you always wanted to go into interior design, and what prompted that decision?
Yeah, you know, I get this question a lot. I had an interview yesterday with a production company, and they asked me the same thing. And yeah, I mean, I think I've always been a designer. My dad was a brilliant architect who I didn't, you know, wasn't able to really get to know him as deeply as I wanted to. He died when I was young. So in some ways, I know that's kind of like a heavy thing to say, but like, I have sort of a legacy to live out, and it's not an accident that I'm a designer. You know, it's like in my blood. Like, I'm a creative, I'm an artist. I have a background in sculpture. I hope a couple of my like people from art school are like watching here and like nodding their heads, because you know, I was like very into like big impact and like big sculpture and like doing metal work, and like, you know, I could go on like a total rant right now, but yes, I always wanted to be a designer. And one of my favorite things growing up doing was like going antiquing with my parents and like checking out, like, you know, just like, my dad understood the history of furniture and architecture. My mom grew up in Japan, and she was like so we just had a very eclectic, strange, beautiful, creative, cool house, you know. So I think that just kind of, I was a shoo-in to be a designer from there.
Okay, and then on that note, did you envision your interior design career taking off the way that it did, or did you see it going a different direction?
No. I mean, look, who said it? Is it Emerson? Somebody correct me. I'm trying to remember who said this, but there's a quote that's famous by a brilliant writer, and he says, "Leap and the net will appear." So I've always been a risk taker. I think at the end of the day, you have to put yourself out there if you're passionate about something. I mean, like, I just get completely like fired up anytime I talk about design, or, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's my job to be a designer. This is what I signed up to do. I mean, I wear many more hats than just being a designer, but I'm super passionate about what I do, and none of it's an accident. I mean, like, you know, at no point was I not completely barreling forward in order to create this current reality, and I'm gonna always continue to do that because that's who I am, whether it's with, you know, a production company doing a TV show, or opening a showroom, or having a product line. Like, whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna continue to do it, and I'm like on a certain path. And, you know, I think it's really hard, you know, to have this like uncertainty in life, which we all experience, but you don't have to see the full staircase, right? You have to just see the next step. And I'm always about taking the next step, and especially if it's uncomfortable. I mean, that's just life. So I'm not here to be comfortable. I'm here to work hard and do what I'm here to do.
Now, with that in mind, did you allow your business to grow organically, or did you really push with advertisements and social media, which I already know the answer to?
Yeah, of course you do. You know, social media, I've always pushed hard. I mean, look, we're on IG Live and Facebook Live right now, so hi. You know, it's a fabulous time to be alive as a young business owner. I mean, to be able to have the foresight, you know, 5 years ago or 7 years ago, however long it was ago, to start this Instagram account, and now we have 13,000 followers. You know, that may not be a lot of followers to some people, and it may be a ton of followers to other people. So, you know, I think social media is fabulous in some ways, and I think it's like totally a downward spiral in others. I always try to just keep it super positive and just like add value for people, whether you're realtors or you're homeowners or you're just people who like pretty stuff, you know, like we do that for everyone. So, and again, I think, like, circling back to the showroom, I think that's what makes sense for this, because you can have Henck Design curated product, you know, it's all curated by me. You know, it isn't like just random stuff. Like, I could choose from any of my vendors, which we have hundreds, you know, to curate and put together a beautiful look that is sort of on brand for Henck Design. And you don't have to be, you know, an interior design client who's spending a minimum $20,000 for your home. And you can come in and you can have a piece of the brand. You can buy a pillow here and buy a candlestick there and buy a lamp here. So, you know, I think that's an incredible way to add value, and I love connecting with people via social media. Yeah, and I've bought my fair share of ads. You know, I haven't bought my billboard yet, but just keep an eye out for that.
Okay, and you also have a response about your quote, John Burroughs.
John Burroughs, thank you. Leap and the net will appear.
So our last question for you is about the showroom specifically.
Wait, who was that? Let's give him a little shout out.
Okay, we got Jay Jerome.
Cheers, Jay Jerome. Here's to you. Thank you.
So about the showroom specifically and the project, how long did it take you from start to finish? And do you feel like this timeline is realistic, or did you just really surprise yourself with getting it done as quickly as you did?
We're talking about the showroom?
Sure are.
So many projects. You know, so I said this on my earlier video, and you guys check it out. It's on IGTV. You'll see it. It's my latest post on Instagram. That was at 4 o'clock that we shot, and I did a showroom walkthrough. We normally have 3 to 5 month processes, and I'm talking about for up to 5,000 square feet. If it's more than 5,000 square foot of a home or, you know, an office space, you know, it can take longer, but guys, like a 3 to 5 month timeline is incredibly short for a job that size. So I'm really proud of, you know, sort of staying on budget for clients and being a true businesswoman when it comes to things like budget and timeline. Timeline is one thing, you know, most interior designers are working with clients for 6 months to a year, and I mentioned that in my last video. But to answer your question, Caitlin, or somebody else's question, you know, at the end of the day, like, I knew how long it takes. I work with contractors all the time, right? Like, I know how long it takes to paint, you know, 1,500 square feet. I know how long it takes to pick out millwork and hang wallpaper and, you know, order furniture and have the furniture come in, install the furniture, and then move our stuff in. But the reality is that, you know, we signed the lease the end of January. I had the place done in 9 days. Joe Carvalho, maybe you're watching, maybe you're not. He was my contractor. He did a great job. But, you know, they knocked it out, and I was like this the whole time, of course. And, you know, I got it done in 9 days, and then we had all the furniture to order, and then, you know, we moved our offices here. We worked the last week of February and the first 2 weeks, or maybe a week and a half of March, and then COVID hit. So, you know, the original goal was to open the showroom April 1st. And, you know, I'm not here, this is social media, I get it. I'm not here to pretend like life is perfect and easy and, you know, everything goes as planned, because it's just not the case. And I think we all know that and are hopefully willing to admit that by this point, going through COVID and, you know, riots and protests for the last few months, which in my mind, you know, are for a real purpose. So I won't go there. But, you know, yeah, we were on target. And then we had a major hiccup, and, you know, so we're, 2.5 months behind schedule. But look, again, I have to bring it back to, like, trusting the timing of your life. Like, I really believe that. Like, if the world comes to a screeching halt and says, you know, you can't open the showroom for 2 or 3 months, what am I going to do? Lose my mind? It's not an option. You roll with it. You know, it's being adaptable, and that's sometimes what life is about.